Joining me now is former career CIA operations officer and intel and homeland security expert, Charles Faddis. Charles, thanks for being here.
Good to be here. Thank you.
All right, Charles, I think the most striking part of this operation, this story, is the fact that they ran this same exercise, the GAO, the Government Accountability Office, ran this same mock operation in 2007 and then again in 2016. 9 years difference. They produced the same result. What happened?
Right. Well, obviously, nobody learned any lessons the first time around. And unfortunately, I think this is not an aberration. This is the norm with our homeland security measures, which is we run endless investigations and sting operations, and then we list all the lessons learned, but we don't actually change anything. This is a very serious matter. With the material they got, they could build a dirty bomb, and they could shut down the heart of a major American city.
Right, and that's exactly what the operation was meant to prove, as it was meant to prove in 2007. But in all practicality, how do we prevent terrorists from doing this exact same thing, particularly now that this story's broken and they see that they have an easy in here?
Right, well, with the existing system, I think you're exactly right. There is nothing right now to stop terrorists from acquiring this material. We have a giant gaping hole here. Obviously, we need much more rigorous procedures. I mean, there's not a magic answer. The answer is we have to actually take this seriously. And unfortunately, we're not taking it seriously. We're sort of at war, but acting like we're not at war.
All right, Charles, paint us a picture here. If terrorists were to get their hands on the same radioactive material and use it to create a dirty bomb, want to use it to attack us, a major city, where would this happen?
So probably a target with tremendous economic and symbolic value. The heart of Washington, D.C., the mall outside the U.S. Capitol, the White House, Wall Street in New York City, a major port area in Long Beach in California. Because if you detonate one of these devices, you're going to have to close the area, evacuate people, and it's probably going to take you years and billions of dollars to clean it up to where people can come back. So you can imagine the heart of Washington, D.C. shut down, Wall Street evacuated, or a major port completely closed and unusable for 2 or 3 years.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, the danger here is not just the threat to individual lives, as bad as that could be. It's the lasting repercussions of something like this, because it would shut down any major area for a long period of time, which would disrupt our economy. Let me ask you, though, Charles, about the specific vulnerabilities here. You've written extensively about this, and you say that some of our biggest vulnerabilities are in our passenger rails, especially New York City. Tell me about that.
Right. Well, you have rail lines that feed into New York City's, the classic example, from all over the place, from New Jersey, from Long Island, Amtrak, from all up and down the eastern seaboard. And there's effectively no security of any kind on those rail lines. So imagine a coordinated attack on multiple rail lines at rush hour as those rail lines feed into Penn Station. You're talking about shutting down the island. You're talking about killing and wounding thousands of people. These attacks, by the way, have happened multiple times in other locations on the planet. The vulnerabilities are well known, and we simply haven't done anything to protect ourselves.
Right, and I guess I don't fully understand that part, because after September 11th, after those massive attacks, our government, we created massive new bureaucracies to address the safety and security of our nation. We even created the Department of Homeland Security. Did they not implement any measures to secure us against dirty bombs, radioactive attacks, or chemical attacks?
Well, you know, I think that's a really good encapsulation of what we did. We created giant new bureaucracies. We employ a lot more people. We spend a lot more money, and we generate massive amounts of process. Very little product in the sense of concrete measures that have any impact actually on the street. So we have made very little progress. It would not be fair to say we've made none, but nothing close to what we need to do.
Right, in these mock operations, this didn't just happen in Dallas, Texas with the radioactive material. At our nuclear plants around the country as well, they've run mock operations simulating assault, even takeover, meltdowns of these nuclear facilities. And time again, these mock operations are able to create scenarios that they were, in fact, able to assault and take over these facilities. Are the results of those being ignored as well?
Essentially, yes, they are being ignored. First of all, they place a lot of restrictions on the folks when they run these exercises. They have red teams that simulate terrorist assault. They tie their hands behind their back in terms of what they are allowed to do. And even so, most of the time, with all those artificial restrictions, they're successful in seizing control of the facility and simulating a meltdown. And yes, we effectively just ignore that. This is despite the fact that, just in this year, we have seen ISIS take a very specific interest in melting down nuclear power plants, seizing power plants in Belgium and other places in Western Europe. So this is not science fiction. This is unfortunately the reality we live in. And no, we're not doing what we need to do to protect ourselves.
Right, and Charles, to be fair, this problem did not begin with President Obama, but he certainly made it worse by not recognizing the issue. Charles, I appreciate so much you being on the show. It was great to talk to you. All right, let us know what you think. We are a system of self-government after all. Tweet me at Liz_Wheeler. Share your thoughts, and we'll be back in a minute.